Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all my dear children of standard 10. So today I'm going to do Amanda. Amanda is the poem in which a young teenage girl is always finding it difficult when her mother scolds her for her silly mistakes. So let us read the poem. Amanda, don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Now, in this first stanza, you would see that these are all orders, right? Instructions given. So, we can make out that these instructions are said by either a mom or either dad. So, that means parents are continuously telling the mistakes of the child. So here you would see new words like hunch in second line. Hunch means bend. So sometimes children when they are sitting they bend their shoulders, but it is not good for their posture, right? You may look like the bent posture, and that does not add up to your personality. So the other word is third line, slouching. Slouching means sitting in a very lazy way, झुक के बैठना. Okay. And then we have, there is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Now when all these instructions are given by the parent, in the second stanza which is given in bracket, now here it is given in bracket, it symbolizes that, it signifies that these are the things that she imagines in her heart. So what does she imagine? I'll tell you, but before that look at the word languid. Languid means relaxed. Then emerald means, here emerald is a gem which is green in color. Okay, so emerald refers to green color here. Then inhabitant, you know, inhabitant means वहाँ के रहने वाले, resident. Then drifting means carried slowly by the water. Then we come across blissfully, happily. Blissfully means happily. Children, this word generally comes in reference to context in the board examination. For example, these 6 lines would be given, and there will be a question about Amanda. 3 questions would be about Amanda, name of the poem and the poet, but one question would be that which word in the above stanza means same as happily. So then you have to write down blissfully as answer. Okay, so we have read the stanza. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So, children, in this stanza, the poet is describing Amanda, a little girl who is always pointed out by her mother for her silly mistakes and how she imagines her life to be. The poet says that the mother is pointing out Amanda for biting nails, which is a bad habit. You all know this, right? In school also we scold you about biting the nails. So nail biting is a bad habit, and the same, for the same reason you are also been scolded at your house. So similarly, Amanda's mother is pointing out for biting her nail, which is a very bad habit. So then after, mother asked her to sit straight without bending her shoulders, right? Amanda, who has habit of bending her shoulders and sitting lazily, is being pointed out because her mother wants her to sit in the right posture. बेटा ये ऐसा होता है, आप अगर झुक के बैठते हैं तो आपको वैसे ही हैबिट पड़ जाती है, और फिर आपका जो बॉडी का जो पोस्चर है which should look like very straight posture, then only your personality would look good. So that posture is always bent, right? So your personality is not added, it is decreasing. So that is why generally people scold you when you are bending Okay, so in school also teachers tell you sit straight, sit properly, sit carefully in a right posture. So the same thing here, Amanda has been asked by her mother to sit straight without bending her shoulder. At this point of time, when she is being scolded by her mother, she imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. Now children, what has happened here? Mother has scolded her for biting her nails, for not bending her shoulders, right? When she bent her shoulders, hunching her shoulders and not sitting straight, her mother scolds her, right? So at this moment, she imagines, she feels that she she is in a deep green sea. Now sea, you know that it is a vast big water body. Now when you are in big very very big water body, see, it has no ending. So she imagines herself to be in a deep green sea. She says that she wants to be the only resident of of this beautiful green sea. Okay. Why she want herself to be all alone on this beautiful green sea? Because she don't want anybody who can nag her, जो उसे बार बार टोकता रहे, वो ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं चाहती, इसलिए वो उस जगह पे अकेले रहना चाहती है. शी वॉन्ट टू बी ऑल अलोन. शी इमेजिन्स हर सेल्फ लाइक अ mermaid who is alone there and leads her life in a very relaxing way. She says that she wants to be carried away by the current of water and feel the relaxing environment there. So here we see that when somebody is scolding her, she wants to be in such a place where nobody else lives, and the place should be very beautiful. When she mentions Emerald Sea, it is very clear that she want to be in near the nature, and there should not be anybody else who can nag her, who can scold her. So children, we come across literary devices, poetic devices like anaphora. Anaphora means repeated use of word at the start of two or more lines. So in the first stanza we see that the first two lines starts with don't bite your nails, then second line don't hunch your shoulders. So don't is the word with which the two lines begins. So the poetic device in this two lines are anaphora. Then we come across assonance. What is assonance? Use of vowel sound o. Assonance means use of vowel sound, and which vowel sound is used here? O. Don't hunch your shoulders. So don't do. Hunch me, there is no o, but your, again y-o, your shoulders s-h-o, right? So in the same line, if more than two times it is occurring, we see that assonance is prevailing in the second line. Then what is the rhyme scheme, children? We see A, B, A. For rhyme scheme, we generally look at the last word. Amanda, Amanda, straight. Okay. Then see, me. Right. So we come across the rhyme scheme A. Sorry, fourth line also says Amanda. So Amanda, Amanda, the last words are same. So Amanda is A, second line Amanda is A, then straight is a different one. So we'll take it as B. Then fourth line Amanda A, B, A. Okay. Then when we come down, we see me blissfully. So here the sound that comes, the sound is rhyming see and me, so both are taken as C. Okay, so the rhyme scheme for this given stanza is A, B, A, C. Okay, blissfully also sounds same, right? So we can say C. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, then C. Then we see alliteration also. Alliteration is drifting blissfully. Sorry, alliteration is when the same sound is being repeated at the beginning of closely placed word. So we see stop slouching and sit, right? Sit straight. So S S S. So we see alliteration in this line because S sound is being repeated at the start of these words. So alliteration here. Then allusion. What is allusion? Imaginary creature when it is mentioned. So allusion is prevailing because here we see that she says that there is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid. So mermaid is an imaginary creature. So in this line, allusion exists. Okay, children. Now moving on to the third stanza. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I am orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So here, children, we come across new words like orphan. Orphan, a child whose parents are not there, maybe dead. Hushed means quiet and still place. So, in the given stanza, given lines, we see that the poet says that Amanda's mother is inquiring her about whether she had done her homework or not. And then she asked her whether she had cleaned her room or not. Okay, children. Moreover, she is also reminded to clean her shoes. So here we can see that the mother is constantly asking her questions regarding her homework being done or not, or whether she had cleaned up her room and shoes or not. But on the other hand, while Amanda is listening to her mother's instruction, what does she imagine? She imagines herself to be an orphan who is roaming in the streets. This means that she imagines if she would have been without parents, she would have walked freely in the streets. So here we feel that she wants freedom. At this age, she wants to be a free person. Nobody should ask her for doing work or for taking care of herself. She wants to be all alone where she can roam in the streets and nobody would question her. This means that she imagines if she would have been without parents, she would have walked freely in the streets. That means she doesn't want parents. She would have drawn designs on the soft dust with her uncovered feet very quietly. Now when she must be going out, her mother must be telling her to wear the footwear, slippers or shoes. Right? Even your parents tell you that whenever you are going out or maybe near your house, they do not allow you to move barefoot because your feet may get dirty. But here she says that she don't want all such instructions, all those things to be keeping always to be kept in mind, that wear your shoes, wear your sleepers, take care of yourself. She feels that how good it would be if she must be without parents, so that she can walk in the dust very quietly and she can enjoy even the soil, even the dust in her feet. So we can see that she thinks opposite to her mother. Her mother wants her to keep everything neat and clean, but Amanda wants to play in dust with her bare feet. Moreover, she is so fed up of these constant instructions from her mother that she says, silence is golden. She says, silence is golden, which means that silence is very crucial and precious. I'll tell you, children, why she feels that. Here, the line says, I am an orphan. Here, the stanza, that lines we have seen. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. I am an orphan roaming in the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So here she feels that silence is golden, which means that silence is very crucial, very precious. Why she feels that silence is golden? Because her mother keeps on telling her, keeps on talking. She is not silent, right? But she wants silence. She feels that silence is golden. That means if nobody would talk anything, it will be a golden time for her, because then she can do everything she wants. She further says that the freedom is sweet. This means that she never feels free when she is with her mother. So here we come across poetic devices like anaphora, where we see anaphora here. Did you finish your homework? Did you tidy your work? So the two lines start with did. Then rhyme scheme is AADA, Amanda, Amanda, shoes, and then Amanda. So all the lines where it ends with Amanda is AA. Then shoes, shoes will write D, and Amanda A. So AADA. Okay. And the rest three words, street, feet, and sweet, they sound same. So EEE. So the rhyme scheme here is AADA EEE. Okay. Then assonance also prevails here. That is use of vowel sound. Which vowel sound? O. Thought. I thought. I told you. So O. Thought में भी O है. Told में भी O है. You also O is there. Your to also O is there. Your also O is there. And shoe also O is present. Okay. And the repetition of word Amanda is there. So repetition is also a poetic device that is used, because more than 2 times, that is 3 times, we can see Amanda. Then metaphor is there. Metaphor is silence is golden. Here we see in the last line the silence is golden. Okay, here silence is said to be glorious like golden color. Okay, so metaphor is existing here. Then freedom is sweet also. Here also freedom, nobody can taste freedom, but freedom is said to be sweet in taste, right? Because everybody enjoys eating sweet, and likewise everybody enjoys freedom. So metaphor exists in last line in both the phrases. Silence is golden and freedom is sweet. Let us read the next one. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So here we see acne. Acne means pimple. And Rapunzel, you know, it is in a story, a girl in the fairy tale by, who is the writer? Brothers Grimm. Rapunzel is a fairy tale character whose hair are very long, and she was living in a very tall tower where no door was there. Then tranquil means calm and quiet. Then rare means uncommon. So here in this stanza, Amanda's mother is disallowing her to eat chocolate. She reminds her of her pimples that Amanda faces due to eating chocolates. At last, she scolds her for not paying attention to what her mother says. And at this moment, Amanda imagines herself to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel was a character from a fairy tale that was captured in a tower by a witch. Okay. And the witch used to climb the tower with the help of long hair of Rapunzel that were let down by her through the window. So now Amanda wants to be Rapunzel, children, because she feels that life in the tower will be peaceful, because nobody would come there and tell her that what to do and what not to do. So she thinks that she will be free and live in a peaceful environment in the tower. She also confirms to herself that she will never let her head down to anyone, so that nobody could come in to her in the tower. So she want to live all alone in the tower, children. Then illusion exists, because again it is a imaginary creature, famous fairy tale character Rapunzel. So illusion here exists. Then rhyme scheme is again AAFA, and care, rare, and hair GGG. Okay. Then assonance is there. Use of vowel sound E and O are very much here. We would see this one, children, this line. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? So in this line, O and E are continuously repeated. Then consonant sound is also there. Consonants means use of consonant. So consonants exist. So consonants कहाँ पर है? Use of sound I. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care bright hair. You can see, right? So in these three lines, I is very much prevailing. So here consonants and repetition is always there because Amanda is used. Word Amanda is being repeated. Okay. Then stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So here sulking means in a bad mood, and moody means unstable, whose mood swings. जब उनका दिल होता है वो खुश होते हैं, जब उनका दिल होता है वो नाराज होते हैं. Nagged, NAGGED, nagged means to harass. So Amanda's mother warns, now she warns her. Warning देती है उसे. What warning does she give? She warns her for behaving in a very odd manner. She asks her to stop being in a bad mood. Now, moreover, she blames her of having such an unstable mood. Amanda's mother is not understanding why she is in such a bad mood always. She also scolds her by saying that her behavior will one day make people think that Amanda was constantly being harassed by her mother. So her mother says that अगर तुम अपना मुंह ऐसे ही बना के रखोगे तो लोगों को लगेगा कि मैं तुम्हें हमेशा परेशान करती रहती हूँ. सो हर मदर वॉन्ट्स हर टू लुक हैप्पी. So here we can say that though Amanda is always pointed out by the mother on every small thing, but she can't react to this. वो उस पर reaction भी नहीं दे सकती Amanda. If she reacts towards this by getting emotional, her mother takes this against her sense of pride and scolds her that she should not behave like this, as others would think that Amanda's mother is very dominating towards her child. And the literary devices, the poetic devices that we see are stop that sulking. इसमें कौन सा वर्ड यूज हुआ है? एस यूज हुआ है बेटा स्टॉप और सल्किंग में, जो कि बिगिनिंग में. तो यहाँ पे हम एलिट्रेशन देखेंगे. एस इज रिपीटेड. Then repetition is, yes, there, Amanda, Amanda, Amanda. So the word Amanda is used. So REPETITION, repetition is the poetic device. And rhyme scheme क्या होगी? Amanda है तो A first line में, then again A, then H and then A. AAHA यहाँ पे rhyme scheme है. I hope you must have enjoyed this poem. And please do read this poem again at home so that you can understand it properly. I'll provide you the question and answers very soon. Till then, take care of your health and keep on studying. Thank you and have a great day ahead.